All right. So if you are new to Unity, I do like to, during this series, I will say every week, we are not a cult. We're studying the chakras, and we're just having some fun wearing the color that we're focused on that particular Sunday. So that's all that's happening. No one is required, and you will drink the Kool-Aid later. So happy 4th of July week. I hope you had a wonderful time. It says in the Declaration of Independence, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The heart of the declaration of this is very inspired. The consciousness of the time in which it was created was very dense, hence the word men. Women are left out. Slavery was happening during this time. But what's fantastic about this is when something like this is captured and it's transcendent and greater than the conditions of the time. And in fact, it pulls people forward. There's a vision, I believe, inherent in these few sentences that really is magnificent. And for us here at Unity, I invite us to be the place where we can pray and be the consciousness of freedom, because there is oppression still happening in households and in religions, in schools, and political systems, in countries. Great oppression is still present on the planet. So a place like Unity here is a place where we pray for that freedom, about that freedom. But we don't focus solely externally, because the external is the effect. And the belief out there in the world is that when this will change, then we'll be free. Oh, then we got to make that stop happening, then we'll be free. And these things are not wrong, but if we don't establish freedom as who we are, then ultimately nothing changes. The creator of the movement of anything, who that person, those people are, is what is inherent in the creation itself. Let me break that down just for a moment. What I mean is, clearly for you, if you say something like, "No, I'm fine," but you're quite pissed off, that's what's going to ultimately come back at you. What you truly are experiencing is what is energetically inside of what's happening. So when we say yes to freedom, we mean you yes to freedom. Establishing that in your mind, in your heart, in your life. Remembering over and over and over, any thought that I am trapped in is not who I am. I am free to choose. We must say this 1,000 times if we have to. We all know the experience of a thought having such strong hold of us that we're convinced it's true, right? I'm absolutely certain that person is a jerk. I know it. I know it. But someone who's on the metaphysical path, someone who's a spiritual person, someone who really wants to awaken has to say, and where is the jerk in me from which I'm looking? Right? And I've learned to do that over the years very, very well, because I no longer blame or shame myself about that. I'm not interested in making myself wrong about these belief systems that we all were born into. What I'm interested in is being the observer of them, and with my choice and my mind, become willing to have that released from my field. Right? That's the magical work that we do here at Unity, and I love it. As we said, we're in the second week of the Chakra series. Chakra comes from the Sanskrit word. It's a Sanskrit word, actually. It translates as wheel or disc. The chakra system originated in India between 1500 and 500 BC, and it is in the oldest text called the Vedas. The Vedas are the earliest Sanskrit literary records and the most ancient scriptures in Hinduism. So the 7 chakras are The root chakra at the bottom, the sacral chakra, solar plexus, heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye, and crown chakra. Within these chakras is prana. It's a life force. It's kind of a light energy that shines. And when the prana itself rises from the base up, it says that there is a kundalini awakening, or a rising of the kundalini itself, and it flows up, and as it awakens, the brain is also awakened, and you are given greater access to parts of your mind and workings of the brain that allow a greater experience of oneness, happiness, a knowing of your divinity. So this is a very Eastern concept, but it lines up exactly with what we're here for. As I mentioned last week, when I was in Costa Rica a month ago, on the last evening, I had a very, very real, profound experience of this kundalini awakening within me during some breath work. And it was just absolutely fantastic. It's an amazing thing. It feels like just the energy of joy is just rising up through, it feels like through the spine and through the body, but what's happening is it's awakening in your energetic being. You see, knowing yourself as your body, as your physical experience here is very, very, very limited, because only, the best way to say it is, a part of your spirit is here. But a much larger part of who you are is not contained or trapped in this one channel that you're tuned into. The larger part of your spirit is so available for so many other understandings and relationships and ways of knowing and being. And our spiritual work opens us up to give us access to that. The chakras, working with them, opening them up and healing them, if that's what's needed and wanted, is what gives us access to this larger experience. Last week, we looked at the root chakra, and the root chakra's primary function is to root us securely in the physical world, rooting our spirit here to have this experience. This week, we move up to what's called the sacral chakra. Its color is orange. It's below the navel, and it is the seat of passion, creativity, your prosperity. It's a good thing to have open and flowing well. If you want more prosperity and experience of abundance in your life, this would be a great place for you to meditate and create an opening experience for more flow. I connect the chakras with different stages of development. Last year, the root chakra was birth to 2 years old. This chakra is the toddler years, toddler years and up, 2 to 5. Did you jump on me? Yes. This is the time of the terrible twos, right? The time when you look at a child and you go, God help us all. But what's really happening and what's beautiful about this is that this child is experiencing its own separation in a positive way from its parents. It's starting to awaken to the passions, to what this child wants. It wants what it wants, and there's nothing to tell it no. There's nothing to tell it no. And so it feels great frustration when what this child wants can't be given or experienced. At this stage of your life, your feelings, your smells, your touch, your taste, it's all so delicious. It's so delicious. And you just want more and more and more. Of course, it is the job of the parents and those who are raising this child to keep that under control, to keep the baby safe. But let's be really, really honest about this. What also happens is that there, unbeknownst, unconsciously, there's a collective agreement to start squashing that wild passion, to start making them make sure they get in the right boxes and follow the rules. Again, some of those are wonderful, but there comes a point where our spirit paid the price for being domesticated. Does that make sense to you? Yes. This chakra is about passion and fire. This is the color of fire. This is the color of this chakra. And again, we know a wildfire out of control is very dangerous. We understand that. But our work is to begin to learn how to enjoy the fire, to revel in the fire, to let our spirits be consumed with the fire, still able to choose where and when and how it's expressed. This is the chakra of desire. You are encoded to desire of spirit. That's what desire means, of spirit. And your desires are beautiful, and you want what you want. But again, the culture said, if you want that, or these desires are evil, these desires are bad and wrong. If you fulfill these desires, you will go to hell. That all got encoded in the second chakra. So it's like prison bars were put over this chakra. I feel like I have to keep explaining this for some reason. I understand it's for our own good. Got it, right? We understand what was done. But today, we're in a lighter consciousness, a new evolution, and a greater responsibility, because true freedom in your spirit means not freedom to be absolutely consumed and controlled by the fire of your passion, but to be the master of it, to enjoy it and express it according to your highest good, and the sharing of it with the world for the world's highest good. You following me? In A Way of Mastery, this book that we're studying on Wednesday nights, it says, desire is not evil. That's not a good sentence. It is, I was typing early in the morning. It is not to be feared. It is to be mastered. Mastery is not control. Please breathe that in. This is the difference. This is the subtlety I'm trying to get us to today. Mastery is not control. For control, the need to control is an effect of the energy of fear, not love. This is the point. Whatever is clamped down out of fear will, as I talked about earlier, ultimately be what is expressed. Fear. Clamp something down in fear, fear is what you get. And the more fear and the more fear, the more control, the more control, the more control. Welcome to today, right? So, mastery of desire comes when you recognize that you are safe to feel whatever wave of desire might come up through your consciousness, because you decide whether or not you will act on it, whether you will bring it into the field of manifestation. And this is probably our greatest growth edge. It's learning and realizing that you have the authority and the ability to master your desires and your passions. Now, if you're like me, you might get images in your head of a bag of potato chips or ice cream at this moment. I get it. I get that we all can look back at our life and go, yeah, but I didn't control that passion. I didn't know how to manage that desire. And the repercussions were exactly what I was told I would get. I understand that. But think about it this way. If a wild animal is caged for a very, very long time and it's finally set free, it might be wild for a little while before it relaxes. Does that make sense to you? I think that's what happens to us when this passion energy, finally we let the lid off of it. It's a huge explosion. You're like, oh my God, what a roller coaster ride. Clamp that back up. Close that back down. But the real gift is open it up, let it flow. Yes, the first flow of our passion sometimes might land us on our butt. But eventually, you will build the relationship with it when you welcome it as good. When you'll just give yourself permission I think that's the first step. Just give yourself permission to want what you want. Give yourself permission to feel desire and to enjoy the feeling of desire, and say to yourself, I don't have to do a thing. I don't have to do anything, but just simply enjoy it. Enjoy it. There's a story of, I heard this in India when I was there, so I'll use the Indian. There's an Indian man who had a strong desire for ice cream. And the ice cream store was in the town over. And he knew that the ice cream store closed at 7 o'clock. So all day long, he had a lot of work to get done before he could leave. And he was stressed all day long. I've got to get that ice cream. I've got to get that ice cream. And he just was pushing through and making mistakes. And just really getting more and more and more frustrated. Because all these things were in the way of him getting what he wanted, his desire. And finally, he completed his work at 6:45. He had 15 minutes. And he, with all his energy and passion, ran to the other village and arrived too late. The ice cream store was closed. And he was mad. And he was upset. And he was a terror to be around. His desire had consumed him and ruined his day, and it didn't have the outcome he wanted, so he was the victim to the whole thing. But then there was another Indian man who wanted some ice cream, and he knew he had work to get done through the day, and he knew that the ice cream store closed at 7 o'clock. They really do use ice cream, by the way, in India. That is what they use as their desire. That's not just me. And so he did the work that was before him. He noticed what was his to do that day, and he did it as best he could. And he, like the other gentleman, ended at 6:45. And he thought, I'm going to try and go see if I can have some ice cream. And so he went to the other village, and he also arrived too late and was unable to have ice cream that night. And his thought and his experience was, that's okay. I got to enjoy wanting ice cream all day long. Do you get the difference? Enjoying the feeling of desire, enjoying the sensations and the thoughts that it brings you, enjoying letting it be present, but not controlling you, not making you a crazy person to try to fulfill that desire. This is the difference we're talking about. Opening up this chakra welcomes us to enjoy the flow of your passion and your desire. Wade Mastery also says that desire is like the liquid of life that moves through the stem of the rose and allows the petals to radiate with glorious color. When you block the flow of desire, the petals cannot be nourished. Death begins to occur. Death of the heart, death of the soul. So our invitation today, as we awaken the second chakra, awaken the flow of desire, wanting what you want, for the joy of it, is life-giving. It will literally bring back to life you who are the flower, you are the stem, you are the petals. And to let this beautiful chakra be open and flow through you gives you the gift of just enjoying it. And the elevation of passion, the elevation of letting yourself want what you want, guess what you get? What you want. Sometimes, sometimes not. But when you get it, it's wonderful. And when you don't, it's fine. That's mastery. That's freedom. That's freedom. That's our gift today. That's what we're seeking being part of. Take a breath. Y'all got that sleepy thing again. So make sure you're with me. Let's move into an experience today where we open this chakra together. I'm going to guide a meditation for you. You can, if you want, close your eyes and you can open your hands. You can watch me the whole time. You can do whatever. You can just stare out on our beautiful property, whatever you want. But this is going to be a moment to really open and heal this part. Oh, actually, Charles, we're going to have the bowl played on this, yeah. So are you up this Wednesday night? Last Wednesday. Last Wednesday.
It'll be August 6th, I believe.
August 6th. Beautiful. All right, this is what do we call this? A chakra bowl.
Right, it's the sacral.
The Sacral Chakra bowl. And I bet it's tuned to the key of D, because that is the key of this chakra. And we're so grateful for the playing of it today. Take a deep breath. Another fun thing to do is to just stare up at the screen and allow yourself to enjoy the energy of that. Taking nice deep breaths, pulling your attention down the spine, down, locating just below the belly button, between the root chakra and the belly button, between the base of the spine and the belly button lives the sacral chakra. And so begin with me by imagining that there is an orange, a juicy orange. Your mouth should begin to water a little bit. See that beautiful orange. Its radiant color, its vibrant color. And imagine that orange opens up and it flowers itself open. And it flattens out into a disc, or like a plate, an orange plate. And just in your mind's eye, imagine spinning it, just like you spin a roulette wheel. This chakra, this plate, begins to spin faster and faster. And as it spins faster and faster, imagine the center of it beginning to open. And coming straight through your back, through the center of this chakra, is a beam of white light piercing through the center, out the front, flowing a stream of white, purifying, cleansing light. The light of spirit flows through this chakra. And imagine it pulling out the front of you all of the shoulds and have-tos and the control. All that has got trapped in this chakra around I can't, this is wrong. The fear of passion. Allow it to be removed. Imagine strings just being pulled out with this white light. Fear of abundance, fear of power, fear of desire. Imagine it literally moving out. The white light flows through your back and out the front, pulling and pulling and pulling. Healing and opening this wonderful chakra. Keep your attention on it. And you can just affirm inside yourself, I'm releasing control, releasing fear. Releasing all the rules that I agreed to that don't match who I am. And because this is also the chakra for sexual energy, allow this white light to flow through and heal any traumas in that area of your life. This is your moment to truly let it go. Let yourself be healed. All of it is released. Take a nice deep breath and imagine this white light pulling back, out the back, releasing. And the chakra begins to slow down and it's spinning slower and slower. Keep your attention there as it stops and opens up into a big, beautiful orange flower. See a big, beautiful flower sitting right there in the lower part of your body, open and vibrant. The petals are reaching out with joy, reaching out, enjoying itself. And we plant new truths into this chakra like raindrops to the petals. Repeat inside yourself these truths and imagine this chakra drinking them in. I enjoy my passions and desires. I am free to enjoy my passion and desires. I am free to enjoy my passions and desires. Imagine that truth sinking deeply into this chakra. I am the master, and I have the power of choice. I choose what I do and don't do. I choose where this beautiful energy flows. I am the master of this creative power. I am abundant. I am creative. Solutions come to and through me easily. I am attractive. I am magnetic. I am powerful and free. Passionate, powerful, passionate, powerful. Imagine this chakra saying yes and absorbing these truths. And know with me that this aspect of your being has been healed today. Welcome any healing. Welcome transformation. Welcome opening of anything that has been blocked, perhaps for a long time. Take a nice deep breath. Allow a smile to come to your face as we close this chakra up, imagining the petals of the flower closing as a flower does as the sun sets at the end of the day, leaving a little opening in the middle for this energy to flow through. And bring your attention back into the room, opening your eyes whenever you're ready. Thank you, Jimmy. So the invitation today is to move a little more slowly. Because if you move too quickly, if your body gets ahead of yourself, like mine often does, then you become less able to really be present and to enjoy. Just looking outside, you have been given so much beauty to enjoy. There's so much here to let your enjoyment and your passion and your desires to be connected with. But the key, again, in the spiritual mastery is around knowing that today you don't have to choose a thing. You can just enjoy. One of the things I love to do, some of you will not be surprised if you know me, is window shopping. I love to shop. I love it. I don't need to buy it, but I sure love to see it. And I love to touch it. And every once in a while, my desires do take over. And that's fine too. But I love beauty. I love to see what people make with colors and things. And it's just such a joy. And when you allow yourself to be anchored in the enjoyment of your life, you'll be surprised at how much that you thought was so important just begins to fall away. It just begins to disappear. It has less importance because you're giving it less charge. Again, this is a very powerful energy, passion, drive. Do you want to shoot it towards a problem and make the problem become bigger and you become more constricted? Or do you want to flow it towards all the beauty that's around you today? That's the invitation for this week ahead. Please stay related. Touch this part of you. Say hello to your second chakra. Perhaps you've never said hello to it before in your whole life. Say hello to it and welcome an experience of enjoyment, meant to be in your joy. Yes? Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. All right.